Hey cottage friends! Today I've got 10 tips and techniques for making your card making and artwork with pressed flowers much easier. So let's dig in.
What I've been doing is I'll take one of these smaller cards and just cut it in half. And so this is the one I'll be putting the flower on. And then I have these that have a little frame in them, and you can just tuck in this piece once it's dried inside, and put a note in the card. So it turns out real pretty done that way. And here's a couple that I've done already. So this one, and then this one. And I think they're turning out beautifully. The colors are maintaining, even because I pressed them in the microwave. I haven't tried pressing these in a book, but the microwave seems to do a good job. Even though this one is starting to turn a little bit. Originally was this color. So you can see how it's changed a bit. So this is the hibiscus. It's really beautiful. It's native to Hawaii and probably other tropical islands. It's just got so much depth, color, and detail. And then I'm using my special technique where I have a piece of parchment paper cut to about the size of the card. And so what I do, these are very easy because they're so large. First, I want to see how it's going to lay out. And I love the stem and pistil that is in there. So you see it's overlapping. I'm going to be cutting that off after I've gotten it placed. But this is how, basically, I want it. So I'm going to place it there. So that's done. And then what I do is I take a little bit of decoupage medium, which today I'm using this Mod Podge. And I'm just going to put a thin coat across the top of the card. If you have other dried flowers, you have flowers at home, maybe you have some in your garden, or you have some pretty leaves in your garden, you can press them in a book. So I've got a nice thin coat. And I like to go out to the edges. And so I want to make sure that's up in the top corner. So I'm going to place this just like that. Flip it over, and then just press it out. And then this will peel away. And later you can come back and go over that again with Mod Podge. Looks like it's all pressed down. And now that thicker part, this thicker part here from the stem can also be trimmed back. And then once this is dry, It isn't quite dry, but I'm going to go ahead and flip it over and then just trim these edges. Now don't throw these bigger pieces of petals away because you can still use those on another card if you want. So before I do anything else to this, I'm just going to let it cure. This flower petal is paper thin, but you can see how that's going to make a beautiful card. Now I've made these little wax paper or glassine envelopes in another video. You can watch and see how I do that. And right now I'm in Hawaii, so I need a way to kind of store my work that I'm doing. And these work great. They're easy to make. They require very few supplies so that you can make those to store your items in. Got these little beauties. I'm going to do something with those. And what I'm doing is they're facing towards this paper because that's going to be the front looking in. So I'm facing the flower towards that. So I'm going to just bring it down a bit, center it a little more. I like that it's just making kind of a little circle with the flowers. You don't want your decoupage medium to be too thick. Remember, these flowers are paper thin. And they peel away from the parchment. This is wax paper. It's like a parchment-y kind of wax paper. It's called durable wax paper for baking, storing, and microwaving. And this one's made in the USA. Now sometimes the glue will leave a little bit of a texture on your page, but I think that's kind of pretty actually. So because the glue hasn't touched this wax paper, and these can only be used one time. So after I use it, I just fold it up. Very simple. You can come back and add some stamps, words, transfers, if you have them. The simplicity is what makes them so beautiful, because you really get to see the delicate details of each flower. But these I'm just going to add a little extra because the stems are thick and they're not laying down as well. I'm going to go ahead and put an extra coat on top of these. This is a matte Mod Podge, so there should be no extra shine. And once this dries, it will dry clear. This one kept its color really nicely there. This blossom. You just want to kind of smooth out all the edges. The feathering. I like to kind of angle them. I do like leaving this on the back because it gives it that color that comes through. I'll show you one that I did. See this one, how the green sort of is coming through. I just think that's so beautiful. So I want to duplicate that. Commit. Now see that one, because that was kind of imperfect anyway, probably wouldn't want to use that part on the card. But look how gorgeous this is. Colors, kind of the mauvey, pinky tones with the yellow and the burgundy, and then a little green down here. You could actually do a whole room on that color scheme, and wouldn't that be beautiful? These are all really frameable, so if you want to make one that you can frame, go for it. I'm going to do one. I'm going to frame one for my, I'm going to make one that I can frame for my bedroom. Just had that thought. Because my bedroom has these pinky tones. I'm doing kind of a French flea market look in my bedroom. And this color scheme fits perfectly. But somebody's going to get this card and fall in love. I just wanted to film this one because it's just got a vintage look to these petals. You can see that. This is going to be the front of it. Look at the colors in that. This is just natural light that we're in today. So I'm going to place it, I like to place them on kind of an angle. And then this will go right over like that. Commit, press it down, flip it over, do a little bit more before you lift off the parchment, or in this case the wax paper. Get all the details, kind of ironing it with your fingertips. Gently pull it off. And this we're going to have to trim. The edge. What a beautiful card. That will be. Here, oh, I spelled hibiscus wrong. I attempted drawing a hibiscus flower. This is the one I was looking at right here. Probably should have tried an angle so I got this nice stem that's coming up, the stamen. Hibiscus. But what I was thinking I would do today, because I have this beautiful, larger size hibiscus that I want to frame in a regular frame. And this is about a 5x7. I would like even larger if I had it, but I don't have a larger one. Put the whole thing in a frame. This would be pretty though. And this one I'm going to take it home. This will be my souvenir for my bedroom. I'll put it in my bedroom. Is that the most beautiful thing you ever saw? Look at the details and the color. It's just paper thin. So what I'm going to do is cut it right out of my sketchbook. See about what that measures. I got this here. Okay, so that's a 5x8. For this, I'm just going to use a whole big piece. Oh, I wish I had a bigger piece of paper for that. Gosh. Well, I'll get most of it in there, so we'll go ahead and go. This is a 90-pound sketchbook paper, so it's got some texture to the paper already. Commit. And there you have one that you can frame. That's going to be beautiful. Just going to smooth down some of the edges. That's the nice thing about doing it this way, is there usually are not a lot of edges to smooth down, unless you have some that are overlapping like this. And you might want to just run one up here. Capture all of that pollen. And when this is all nice and dry, I'm going to go ahead and write on the back, Hibiscus, Hawaii, March 2021. So we'll go ahead and let that dry, and then we'll find a beautiful frame to put that in. It could be fun if I find a mat. If I find a mat, and then these can go over the edge of the mat. That's a thought. That could be really pretty. So I'm not going to trim this one. I'm going to leave it. And once I get home, I will see if I can find something that I can place it on, another piece of paper where these can overlap a little bit, like a mat.